So this is a lazy column which we are going to create today. It contains a number of items, and we are also going to learn the difference between the lazy column and column. So without wasting any time, let's get started. Okay, so here is our initial piece of code. Here I am going to create our list. First I will create a file and I will name it compose list. I will name it compose list. So basically, before creating our view of list, first we need to understand what is a list and what is a lazy column and what is a column. We need to understand the difference between these before starting. First, let's assume we have a list of 100 items. Alright, and inside it will be item of IT plus 1. It's basically nothing but a list of item 1 till item 100. What if I want to show this to my user? You can say we can use a vertical column, and inside the column we can just put the views inside it. Okay, so if we do something like this, column, and if I say I have a simple text inside it, okay, and the text says we should loop over it, dummy list for each, and here we will get our data, and I say here we will get our text. Text will be the data. Let's try to run this. Okay, so this is our list basically. As you can see, it is showing us from item 1 till item 38, and the next item after 38 is not visible, and we cannot scroll it because it is a column, and for making it act like a list, we need to add some properties inside the column. For example, what we can do is we can give it a modifier, and we can say vertical scroll, and we have to give it a state, and we'll say remember scroll state. So if we do this, then this is going to work like a list, and we can scroll it too. Okay, and just remove this and add this inside a cart, and I'll say have some modifier will max width and have some padding. If you run this, you will see a different item. Okay, so this is our item with 100 list. You can say it is working fine, which is in this case is okay. If you have limited items, you can use column. What if you have more than 100 items or more than 1000 items or even 10,000 items in the list? In that case, you cannot use column, because when we use column, it is going to render every item which is inside its scope. For example, if there are 100 items, column currently have 100 items already loaded inside it, and what if we make it 1000, it is going to add 1000 rendered items inside it. So as soon as the list gets increased, our performance of our app is also going to decrease, because the more views are going to render, the less will be the performance. And for handling this situation, we have lazy column. Lazy column by default have the scroll, so we don't have to manually add the scroll in it. So this was tutorial for using a column. For adding the space between it, we can do is we can add the arrangement of 16 dB. See, now let's try our lazy column. I will keep this code and I will remove the rest. Now adding lazy column is quite simple. All we have to do is write lazy column, and now lazy column is going to take items which is going to be the list, and here I will say our dummy list, and it is giving error because we have multiple type of items and we need to select list because we are using list right now, and it is going to give us some data, and here we can paste our item. Just like column, lazy column to have similar properties. Let's try to run this to figure it out. As you can see, we have gotten the same result as column, and just like column, we also have a property to vertically arrange our items. We can also add some padding, so it will have the space in the start and in the end. Okay, so here is our list, and it doesn't matter how many items are there in the list. Right now is 100 items. Even if I make it 1000 items, it is going to run as smooth as it is. See? So what another thing can be added, or what are other benefits of this? First, let me tell you the difference between the columns. As I have already told you that column renders every item inside it. So these items from 1 to 1000, they are going to render at once. But in the lazy column, what is happening is whenever I scroll, every previous item gets recycled and used again. So currently lazy column have item 7 to item 18 loaded, and when I scroll, the 7 and 8 item are going to be destroyed and going to be reused again. So it keeps only those items render which are currently visible to the user. What else you can do with it? What if our items does not look same? Means there are certain conditions or certain scenarios where you have to show different items on different position. We can achieve it. In our case, we can do it like we can use items indexed, and it requires two parameters. One is the index and second is our data. This data can be anything. Whatever the type of list we have added here, we are going to get the data of it. And I am going to add certain condition here. I'm going to say is if our index is basically an even number, I'm going to say to show this, and I'm also going to add some color here to differentiate between our items. That's it. We can change our color from here. I can say make this yellow. I'll copy it, and if in the else block I'll say change the color to something like blue. Okay, so whenever the index is an even number, it is going to show us a yellow card, and when it is an odd number, it is going to show us a blue card. Let's run this. Okay, so as you can see, based on certain conditions, we can also change our items. You can add any condition as you want. That's all for today, guys. I hope you have the clear understanding between the column and the lazy column. I hope you have liked the video, and if you do, please like the video and do subscribe to my channel. That's all for today. We'll meet you in the next video. Take care.